Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute, and it's me, Amir, here. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up your React Native application or Expo application using Tailwind CSS. And of course, it's not going to be a direct one because we know mobile applications, they don't have the DOM. So it is impossible to access the Tailwind CSS utility. So to do that, we are going to use a styling library known as the NativeWind. Now, NativeWind is going to act as the translation layer that will allow us to write or style our app in Tailwind CSS format. So it's going to translate all the Tailwind CSS utility into React Native style sheet object. And after doing that, we can style our React Native application in Tailwind CSS format. So let's quickly open up our browser, and we need to go to the NativeWind documentation. So you just type NativeWind, and I have it here. So this is the documentation. As you can see, we have Expo here and list of commands that we need to run in order to set it up. And also we need to create some files. But before going ahead with the setup, let's first create our project. So I'll go to my file explorer, and in the desktop, I'll just open my command prompt and type this command in order to create the application. npx create expo app at latest, and run this command. So this is going to create our application, and it's asking for the app name. So I'll just give it this as test. And now it's creating our project, and shortly we'll have the project folder with all the required dependencies. So let's give it few minutes. And there we have our project ready. So we'll just navigate to the root directory by typing cd test, and we can open it using our code editor, which is VS Code. So I have just started my emulator, and if I'm going to open the terminal, type the command in order to run the application. So we will run the application by typing this command npx expo start, because this is for the first time, so we are not going to clear any searches. And this command will start the Metro bundler shortly. Now, there are two ways to run your application. You can run it either on physical device, and that is by installing the Expo application on your mobile phone and scan this QR code. Otherwise, you can run your application on emulator. And for iOS, you can just press on, I think the command that's given for iOS is I, and for Android, you just press on A. It's going to open the Android emulator, and the application will be running on your emulator. And here it is opening the Expo on my emulator, and the app name is here test. That's the name that we gave to the application when we were creating it. And here we have the app folder, the tab folder, and we have the components. So what I'm going to do, I don't need all these, so I'll just get rid of them. And to do that, I need to run this command. The command is npm run reset project. So this is going to get rid of all these files, which I do not need. So it's asking, do you want to move existing files to app example? I don't need this file, so I'll just hit no. And if you see, all these files have been deleted. And if I go back to the Metro bundler and reload the app, okay, I'm getting an error here. What is this error saying? That we have something unable to resolve component from app layout.tsx. Okay. So we need to clear the Metro bundler cache in order to get rid of the error that we got. So I type the command npx expo start and -c. And -c stands for clear. This is going to clear the Metro bundler cache, and our application should be running smoothly without any error. And perfectly, we can see whatever is in the main entry of the application is here displayed on the emulator. So now we can go to the documentation of NativeWind and try to set it up, right? So We are not going to create an app, so we skip this first command and we just come to this and copy the command from here. And then we can open a new terminal here. Let's just paste the command here so that we can install these dependencies. It will take few minutes to do that. Meanwhile, it is still installing. We can move ahead with the next. So we need to create okay, we need to run this npx tailwind init, and this will create for us a tailwind config file. And if you run this command, we'll have tailwind config file shortly here. And it's already created. If you see here, we have the config file, right? So we can move on to the next instruction. And the next instruction says we have to create a global.css. And this one is usually created inside our app. So I'll just create a file here and I'll call it global.css and pass it here. Sorry, it's CSS. Okay. So next, after creating this, then we need to create a bubble.config and just create here a bubble.config file .js, right? And paste this inside. So we can move on to the next instruction, and we also have to create a metro.config.js and just create metro.config.js and paste this code snippet. Next, we are going to import this in the root directory of our application. So if I go back to Visual Studio Code, the root directory of application, it's going to be the layout. So I'll just have to paste this here. This will be the root entry or the root layout. And the next thing that we have to do, the global.css is within the app folder. So we'll have to say app slash. Now, there is one more thing that we have to fix, and that is we need to create one more thing. Let's just go back to the documentation. The documentation says that in the app.json, we should have bundler as metro. So we go to app.json, web, and paste this here, right? Just forgot this comma, and that's it. We also have to create a type, NativeWind. So NativeWind env.d.ts. We'll create this file, native, and paste this inside here. And we need to go back. So I think everything is set now. What we can do next, we can just check our files if everything is all right. And now this is the most important part that we have to consider, otherwise it's not going to work. So we need to tell NativeWind that we should be able to style whatever files that we have inside this app folder. And we need to do that by providing the path. So I'll just say app and slash. So what we can do next, we need to provide this whatever files that we have, and those files can be the TS file, TSX file, can be JS file as well JSX. Similarly, we need to do the same for other folders. For example, if we have components somewhere here, then maybe we can create a component folder and we extend the styling to this component folder, then we are going to mention that here as well. So I just provide the path for components. Let me just modify this. And here I'll say components. So now we can go ahead and test the NativeWin if it's working. And if everything is set well, then it should work. I'll just try to style it. So I'll say text is Excel. And you see here the text size has been increased. So you can also define colors inside here. We can extend this theme by defining colors, object. And what I'm going to say, I'm going to say red. And I'll give it red color by dragging this like this. And I'll head back here and I'll try to style this text and give it red color. And you should see it has turned red. So we can give it more styling to the entire page. But before doing that, let me just go to the stack and hide the header. So I'll say screen options. It's going to be header shown and set it to false. And you see the header is hidden. So we can style our app now. Let's just stick to the NativeWind. I'll say class name flex of 1 and background color of red. See, the entire background is red now. So you can just say the text as white and the text should be white. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another view. So this is the parent view or the parent container. I'll create one more container here. And this container, I'm going to style it and give it flex. Should take 40% of the screen. And the background should be red. And I will create another container. And this second container, I'm going to give it a flex of 6. It should take 60% of the screen and we'll set the color to white. And if you see here, it's taking this as white and this is 60% white and 40% red. So we can style this. I'll just say rounded top and I'll give it 50 pixel. And you should see something like this. So let's have more fun with the styling. So I'll just remove this text here and should cover the entire screen. That's 60%. So maybe we can import image. So I'll just import the image component and let me just pick some image from my computer. I don't know, downloads. So I have the image here for burger. I'll just copy it and go back to the root directory. I'll go to asset images and then paste the image here. And now we have this burger image. So we can just import the image here. So I'll just say image. And this image will provide the source. I'll say require. And provide the path for the image, which is inside assets, images, and the name is burger.png, right? And you should see the image here, right? So now we can style the image by giving it a class name. I'll say width is full to take the entire width of the screen, as well height is full, entire height of the screen, and the resize mode will be contain, and that's it. And that's it about the NativeWind with React Native. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And if you like my Visual Studio Code extension, you go to the Visual Studio Code Marketplace and type Byte Night, and you should get the theme right here, right? So that's it, guys, for today's video. Thank you.